Well, I'm Kathleen Buck, and I am an artist, working artist. I was one of the founders of Currents Gallery, and it's been going for 14 years now. I paint and play with texture and color, and I generally have a recognizable something coming from an abstract background with a lot of texture. So I vary from beach, horses, animals, pretty abstract feeling, but something that is not just totally non-objective. I do like having a recognizable something, and usually I create the abstract first and then look at it and say, what is it? And I will see something in it and develop that something by either back painting or lightening what I see and turn a total abstract into something emerging from an abstract background. I create texture in various different ways. One way is to get very thin acrylic and just squirt it on the surface and then put texturizing devices like crinkled up shrink wrap paper on it and a weight and let it dry, and then the next day take it off, and there you have really luscious textures. And then as long as you've kept some whites and kept your palette limited so that it doesn't all mix and become brown, because if you add all three primaries, you get brown. And so you have to kind of limit the palette in order to do it that way, but you can get some really amazing effects. The other way I create texture is I use stuff like matte medium or pastel ground for watercolor, or various texturizing products that have been created, and I just put them down on the surface without any regard to anything, just put some down. And then once it's dry, get some paint, again, limited palette, 2 colors usually that will mix to make a third, and just sort of put it on. And where the texturizing is, the color doesn't stick very much. And on the rest of it, it does. And now, what is it? And so then I will say, oh, I see a woman in a hat that I can make come out of that combination of backgrounds, or rainy day, or, so what my subject is sort of determined by how I start. And I will start with various methods of making a mess. So one time I just put marks down, turned the paper, put a shape down, turned the paper, put some color down, turned the paper, and just kept doing that until it was a total mess, and then waited. You always have to let it dry after you make your texture. And then, what do I think this looks like? Oh, that's the Grand Canyon. And so then I developed it through color and actual painting to make it look just like the Grand Canyon. I don't generally go over 24 by 30 because most people don't have that much room in their house, and so it's hard to sell if it's much bigger. Plus, Currents Gallery is sort of small, so I'm generally 24 to 30 is my biggest size, and 4 by 6 would be my smallest, but I'm all different sizes. If you want to have a life in the arts, you need to have a lot of get up and go for marketing, which I don't really like that part, but I am getting slightly better at it. You have to be willing to take rejections because you enter things and don't win a lot. There is a large learning curve, so you might have to have something else to support you for a while until you can get better at it. But it is definitely soul satisfying and a wonderful thing to do.